4! Good call.
No one
There. Hey guys, thanks for coming out for our February event. My name is Craig, he, him pronouns. I'm just going to go over a few basic things I usually go over and a couple of new things. First thing is there's 3 big rules. There's no drinking, no drugs, and no sex on site. We simulate these things through role play. Please do not do them because I don't want to have to get you in trouble. Remember, phones only in your out-of-character spaces. Out-of-character spaces are like bathrooms, out here on the porch, the kitchen here. There is, oh yeah, the parking lot as well. All right, so there is one topic here that doesn't exist, and that is the topic of sexual assault. We don't bring that into game. We don't talk about that outside of character. The only time you talk about that is if you're talking to me and trying to report or let me know about anything. All right, be sure to ask for consent for physical role play. If you need to do some doctoring and you want to make sure that someone's not dying and whatnot, ask for physical role play consent. If you don't get that, it's okay. Your mechanics are just as effective pantomiming over them. Reminder that players are way more cooler than your characters, and we put a bigger focus on that. So if you want to have a cool fight scene, you're going to check in with them. If you see someone who is sobbing their eyes out and you're not sure if maybe that's really good acting or if that's a person who's having a hard time, you can do our OK check-in system, and it's real simple. Just going to hold up a thumbs up, and that's a question. Are you okay? And if the person is doing all right, they're going to give me a thumbs up back. If they're not sure if they're doing all right, they're going to give me a so-so. And if they're really not okay, and this is me, not my character crying, they're going to say, no, absolutely not. I need a break. And all you're going to do is you're going to let the scene end, let them take a moment, decompress, and chillax. All right. If you guys need to leave early, totally cool. All you're going to do is leave your sheets, same place you got them, right there on my computer. I'll have you do like a quick cleanup. Usually it's dishes. But it can change, so check in. Check in. Yeah, you gremlin this. Which segues into my next point. Please do not empty dishes in the sinks. They are not built for that. And then I have to get my hands super dirty, scooping out food from the little sinkholes. And that's not fun. It's gross. Please. So we have a lovely sheet here in yellow that tells you exactly what to do about throwing food in the trash, putting dirty dishes here, and emptying water in the sink. All right, guides, give us your hands. All right, look around, everyone. If you're going to be doing any sort of theft, if you're going to be doing any sort of CVC action to try to get another character, these people are going to be your friends. They're going to kind of coach you through the process beforehand and watch, make sure everything's all copacetic. All right, NPC shifts, be sure that you are giving feedback after you come back from your mods. Anyone have a character sheet with them? I left mine in there. Bingo, got it. All right, so one thing that I really want to stress to you guys, because I think that maybe I didn't convey this message well enough last time. There's a new section on your character sheets for new learnings, and that is going to be anything that you spend XP on or any caps that you gain. So if you gain 3 mind, put mind plus 3. That's all we need to know there. Or what your skill is that you learned. Because really, after game, this is going to be the section I look at. If it's not there, I'm not going to see it. All right. And I think I have one more thing. Orange headbands. We do have people who are non-coms this game. If they have an orange headband, all you're going to do is point at them to call damage. So if you have your sword, you're going to be like, thank you. If you have a sword, you're going to point at them and go, 1, 1, 1. If you have your gun, same thing, 5, 5, 5. And that way they can still take damage. People with orange headbands cannot physically counterattack you, so they can't buff or fight. Yeah, that's all I have.
All right. But non-coms can still call abilities, like if they have,
Avoids.
Yeah, avoids, or if they have, movement skills to get away.
Yes.
That's okay. All right, so thank you for making it out to our corner of the wasteland. We seem to have this habit of unintentionally scheduling against national events. But thankfully, this time, we've got a packet of stuff from the event team up there, and we've done some collaborative story building, so you're going to see some stuff like that out this weekend. Now, how to put this? Be in town before 3 o'clock tomorrow. If this is a thing that you're interested in, be in town before 3 o'clock tomorrow.
3 a.m.?
No, 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. Before 3 p.m. tomorrow. If you've got other stuff to do, you want to go grab lunch somewhere, that's great. Be in town before 3 p.m. tomorrow. If you want to be a, part of story things of a particular nature. Okay, so it's cold. We're swinging weapons at each other. That means that some of us are going to hear the phrase, check your swings. All that is someone going, hey, that felt like it hit a little hard. I'm just letting you know, swing a little lighter. That does not mean that they think you are a bad person. They're just letting you know that it was a little bit heavier than lightest touch. What happens if someone falls down and gets hurt during a combat?
50 pawns.
Okay, excellent. So at that point, if you hear that phrase, and it will get telephoned around the area of whoever needs attention, Craig or myself or any of our medical folk will rush to safely rush to their side. Now, a way that we can avoid calling that this weekend is only put your feet where you can see them. That means no running backwards. If you want to try and, kite zombies, run away, then turn around and shoot them. Don't run backwards. That's bad news. And, if the choice is get knocked down or try and run into the darkness, get knocked down, call for help. Okay, so this is a horror event. There's going to be scary things happening. Now, if we bump into one of your actual phobias or something that you as a person cannot endure, you can put your hand on your head and go, I'm out. Now, that's okay. If you need to opt out of something, we're not going to judge you. We've got plenty of other opportunities to scare you in ways that, are safe to you. So we already did the guide shout out. My new player guide. Hello. If this is your first event or you're within your first 3 events, we have content specifically for you, and we're gonna have a new player kind of refresher mechanics thing right after this meeting, and then at 10 o'clock the new players will all meet up as well. Game on is at 10 o'clock. Okay.
Where are they going to be meeting?
We'll meet right in the artisan area, right where the post office used to be.
Right out there.
Right out there.
Cool.
With all the hammers and the signs. So we added a Anastasia Mars from Texas had a wonderful idea talking about basically promoting the use of selfies in game. So I brought my ring light and we set up an easy up with a bunch of props in there, and it's a space where I'm going to put that so you can take selfies and share to your heart's content.
Thank you.
So Enos, E-N-O-S, is the town that is, right out here. There's a new place called the Texoma Corral. I've been there a couple times. They're okay. I haven't figured out if they're like the other place yet. But they have a first Saturday of the month flea market. And I know if you're anything like me, you like a good flea market. So it starts at 7:30 tomorrow and will run like most of the day. So if it's something you're interested in, you just go south on Enos Road, Texoma Corral. And so this is the Pretend Apocalypse. You have lives to spend, fun to have, take risks, make some adventure memories. Safe is great, but sometimes safe isn't as fun as it can be.
Yeah.
So
they're IP infection points. Think of them as investment points.
yeah,
Invest in a good experience.
it's a fun money.
Yeah.
All right.
If you've never been to the grave mine, do it.
All right. So before I release us all, does anybody have any questions?
Hey, how do we handle cleanup after game?
Hey, that is a wonderful question. So, you guys may have noticed on your sheets that there is a group and a number on your cleanup section, which is the first time you've seen that. We're going to try something different this time around, and at the end of game, I'm going to have you group up into your cleanup group, so group 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will give out the assignments for those groups. So it'll be the same thing, site cleanup, then we'll do our cabin.
So site cleanup, then cabin camp.
Yes.
To supplement that, if you set up something of your own before the event, like the tea service or the trophy room, that gets cleaned up first.
Yes.
And we'll try to make sure those go quick. Yeah. All right. Any other? Yes.
How do we do CVC and how does the wasteland work?
Okay. So character versus character conflict has some options. One of them is the wasteland. Out past the first pavilion into the wooded area is the wasteland. The wasteland is a place where you opt in, basically volunteer for any conflict you run into while you were out there. So that doesn't mean you're just going to aggro everything you see. You don't have to do that. You can still, talk to things. But there doesn't need to be a guide out there to monitor the combat because you're already considered.
You turned your flag on.
Volunteered for that. Alternatively, if you are planning on doing anything that is character versus character, like you want to beat somebody up, you want to steal somebody's shit, you need a guide. And that's why we raised our hands a little while ago. So if that is something that you're into, you can have somebody to make sure that all happens correctly. And then the last bit is this, which is a little C held up to your shoulder. And this is the CVC check-in. So if, I say something, dumb about...
My hair.
Yeah, so I say something dumb about Greg's hair.
Impossible.
And he's like, are you sure you want to say that?
This is your opportunity to back down.
Yeah, and if I'm like, oh, I don't really want to get in a fight with people, I'll be like, oh, I didn't mean that's not what I meant to say.
I meant stupid good, not stupid bad.
Yeah. But if I'm like, okay, let's do this. If I'm like, yeah, I might do the thumbs up in a way that pretty much just he can see, and then that's like, okay, let's go. It's like, yeah,
Beat me
go.
up.
So yes, there's a variety of options, and if this is kind of a hey, heads up, the thing that you're doing or the thing that you're saying is a source of conflict for this particular person. And if you're okay with that, move on ahead. If you're not, that's your opportunity to take a step back. So for anybody that may be interested in pilfering things, stealing stuff, bunks are not things that you can loot. Those are not thievable areas. However, there are lots of other places, and people carry a lot of their stuff on them anyhow. And some people cache their stuff all across site. That's the thing I used to do. So that's CVC. Do we have any other questions before we were? Oh, that's
Thank
a
you
good
for
question.
the reminder again.
So, some undead, well, all undead have a resistance to range damage or an immunity. So, some weapons have Zombie Bane attached to it. The Zombie Bane cancels out the resistance and allows you to do the
Normal damage.
the base damage of the weapon. It doesn't double it. It allows you to do the base damage of the weapon. With that, if it is immune, it's still immune. So yeah.
I'm going to bring up a couple of things because there's
All right, go for it.
there's a few changes. There were a few changes, mechanically speaking, that were made to skills. So I'm just going to go over those high level. Master Stealth. This skill cannot be used if the user currently has a fracture, subdued or active. Yeah, so the use of Never Hear, essentially.
Isn't
This-
this once per event now?
This is a once per event.
Unless you have the knives.
An individual, yes, may spend one resolve and declare Never Hear. They should then immediately put the out-of-game character, the hand sign, and report to ops. It's countered by a mechanical skill of No Escape, which it could be on custom creatures or other items that are coming out. We don't know yet. That's one change.
The master is also disguised, right?
No, that's proficient.
Okay.
Master Combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Master Pyro has changed. So it no longer breaks brews in a 3-step radius for everyone. It only breaks your own brews and injectables, which are 2 separate things. And it is psionic 3 steps, 30 body, and then itself break all brews and injectable. It also provides 1 fracture and cannot be used with a fracture. So that's one small change to it. Master Combat, that one's still working.
Eric was up first.
If Master Stealth is countered by No Escape, is it refunded and can be used later, or is it still that's your one use?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Probably.
Right now, though, I don't think we have any. This game, we don't have any no escape mechanics yet.
Yeah, it's not a thing I can do yet.
Yeah, so it's.
I'll let you know when I know.
It's a future problem.
That point in the game where I clarify mechanics up front, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
With the Master Pyro, it's breaking your own brews. Do you take the 30 body as well?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
just
Yes.
the,
It is
okay.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
But you drop a ball.
It cannot be targeted. CVC. Yeah, and it may be used during bleed out, but looks like it can only be used once because of the fracture.
All right.
Still, you can't use it if you had a fracture the entire trade.
Huh?
Because it used to be that you couldn't use it if you had a fracture at all in that trade.
No, it's either
Currently.
active
Okay.
or current.
Okay.
So yeah, you can have one subdued via like faith skills or social skills.
Yeah, but before it was like if you had a fracture.
I don't know what it was
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, cool. Just making sure.
Cool. We all good?
Oh
All right.
yeah. You'll see
Thank you.
a lot of little
So many
cans with blue
announcements.
caps around. If you smoke, these are where butts go.
Yes, put your butts there.